All right, guys, I got to do the flippity-floppity thing with the phone. Hopefully I'm not too close to it. There was a space call last night. Actually, I recommend you go and watch Due Diligence entire 4-hour space call that he recorded. There's a lot of good information on there about the S1, alternative ideas, so on and so forth. I'm going to just show you my segment of like 20 minutes or so that me and Drew were talking. And I'm going to... after that, I might show you a little bit of the video that I was there was part 2 of the S1 that I recorded yesterday. If you don't see that at the end, that means there'll be a third video that I'll publish maybe in an hour or so, for the few of you that listen to me so that you're all updated. This will be a little briefing of like a 4-hour space call last night. I think we covered quite a bit just during mine and Drew's conversation on that. So let's flip this thing back around and hit play.
And it says later on, if you're an eligible holder and registered holder of NEXTBRIDGE hydrocarbons, and you maintain that registration with the company's transfer agent as of the record date and for the holding period, you will be eligible to receive a right certificate representing the number of shares of NewCo common stock that you may acquire pursuant to that subscription right.
It should be popping up with me.
That's what that all means.
Ignore how I sound like an idiot. There's some good information on this, guys.
All right. Who's next?
John, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
What's up, John?
Not much. I just myself posted a video a few hours ago. Not that anyone can find it, because you can't, for some reason, if you search MMTLP on YouTube, you never find me. But it's pretty much condensed into the whole... maybe I should throw at least half my shares into AST. But then I start listening to you, Drew. You always sound like you know something or got something that you can't reveal, and some information that I haven't found yet, where I'm totally... I can't see the downside at this particular point. See, the brokerages seem to be telling us, it's so hard to get it to AST. It seems like they don't want us to push it in AST. Now we got NEXTBRIDGE hydrocarbon, which I feel is on our side, telling us, trying to give us incentives to transfer to AST. And based on everything I've seen so far, it looks like it's such a small percentage chance of this ever opening up to trade again that almost seems like the logical thing to do, and that's what my whole video was based on. But now after just 10 minutes of listening to you guys, I'm like questioning everything that I thought that
and that's not what I... Okay, listen. That's not what my goal is here. My goal is I always want to look at it from every possible angle.
Absolutely.
And for me, what is definitely a possible angle that for some reason... I haven't heard anybody talk about is what if this was just a move from NEXTBRIDGE to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. You better fix this before this gets effective. Right. We're going to give you more than enough time. We've got until the time that this thing becomes effective, and then we've got the 6-month holding period on top of it. We're going to give you more than enough time to figure this out. But this is what is coming if you don't figure this out.
Right, and I don't think we should panic because that on the S1, they don't have a date set. I mean,
they can't have a date set because the S1 hasn't gone through the comment period by the SEC.
Right, and they have to have a date on the S1 before that 60-day period where we have to transfer if we want that special incentive type thing even happen. So we're not even nowhere near a panic period, I would assume.
No, I'm nowhere near a panic period.
Right.
I'm nowhere near a panic period. And I don't understand. And tomorrow this is going to be unpopular that I brought this up. But, I don't understand why no one else is bringing this stuff up. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why should we rush to a snap judgment when there is no effective date yet?
Plus, there's another major negative here. Which I can't
especially when today, FINRA, being the rocket scientists that they are, release all of the correspondence from NEXTBRIDGE hydrocarbons, which substantiate every single thing that McCabe said in his statement yesterday, and puts even more pressure on those that are capable of resolving this to do so.
Haven't they even admitted that there's an imbalance?
Yes.
I believe they did admit that there's an imbalance. That right there is like
they admitted that there is shorts. And
Yeah.
it's not... okay, here's the problem. The problem is naked shorts. This is the only problem that I have. Naked shorts weren't mentioned anywhere. Not by NextBridge, not by FINRA. And I think the reason why is because you can't make that kind of an allegation without having the data to back it up. If they had the data to back it up, then I'm sure the words naked short would be all over the statement that Greg McCabe made. But the problem is they don't have the data to back that up, so they can't make that kind of an allegation.
But doesn't the word imbalance mean that?
Well, yes and no. Well, because
this is why I listen, because some of us do like hearing every single angle, and you do seem to think of all the angles.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Like, what if there was just a failure to deliver on a regular short? Okay, and on the last day, we know that there were, 200,000 failures to deliver?
Right.
That causes the imbalance. Because that obligation is outstanding, but it was failed to deliver. And they can't go and buy the shares on the market to deliver that. So that causes an imbalance. So there's your imbalance. Never, like the legal shorts that actually went and borrowed shares, which they then used to short. That wouldn't necessarily cause an imbalance because the brokers could just cancel them out and pay the lender the $2.90 it would have cost, and the person on the long side of that short transaction has his shares. Where the imbalance comes in is failures to deliver and those that didn't demonstrate and did not locate shorts, which is what we suspect has happened, combined with those that did the same for Torchlight.
Exactly.
Before...
in the large quantities of millions. If you look at the FTD data from the last 2 days that it was ever recorded and traded, even after the merger had gone through, you look at T2 settlement, okay, cool, but 2 days after, they went from multi-millions down to none. And that was before MMTLP was trading. So where did those millions of shares just magically appear from to settle that FTD obligation?
Exactly. Right. And listen, and John, I'm sorry, and I'm not just saying this to John, I'm saying this to everyone. I'm sorry that I'm the only one that brings this stuff up. Like, I'm sorry if my experience leads me to think this way and nobody else has brought this up. I don't understand why people have a problem with it, of looking at it from every angle.
Oh, I don't have no issue. They've, we've gotten screwed over so many times thinking things are going in one direction, and then they hit us with a different thing of something that after it happens, we say to ourselves, oh, geez, we should have thought of it.
Hold on. You may have, but I didn't. And I resent certain people coming out and imputing that upon me when the only time I got caught off guard, was when they halted this thing on us.
Yeah, I think they got us all.
Ever since then, anytime something happens, whether it's a congressional hearing or whether it's, a statement is forthcoming from NextBridge or this, that, or the third, I'm always the guy saying temper your expectations.
Yeah.
Temper your expectations. We don't know. And I resent people saying that I was thrown for a loop on any of that stuff.
No, when I said that, I was referring to myself. I've been thrown for a loop several times.
Well, I'm speaking for myself. No. I'm speaking for myself, too, and I'm not speaking in response to you. I'm speaking in response to somebody else that said it this week. Okay. And I resent that, and I also resent, and I seriously resent, anybody who says that these community efforts have not been fruitful or led to anything substantive. They have. Look,
I'd agree with that 100%.
The letter that FINRA released today proves that your efforts are working. and they are leading to things happening in the background.
Exactly.
So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that bullshit that the only way to resolve this and the only way this gets fixed is through this lawsuit or that lawsuit with this attorney or that attorney. If you feel like your rights have been violated, you should consult with an attorney and you should evaluate your options in the way of filing a lawsuit. You should absolutely do that. But don't for 1 second let anyone bully, and that's what it is, bully you into thinking that this will not get resolved any other way unless you go and write a check to an attorney. That's bullshit. Your efforts are working. Look at what FINRA had to do today. And why did they do it? They did it in response to NextBridge. Why did NextBridge act? Because they heard us.
Mm-hmm.
They heard us, and they know they know that the problem exists. They know that it exists. So yeah, what I would probably draw the most attention to, and what is provable and what is indisputable, is the failures to delivers cause an imbalance. I don't care if it's 200,000 shares. I don't care if it's 2 shares. If it's 2 shares and there's an imbalance, they got to buy those 2 shares back from someone. They can't just take them.
Right.
They've got to buy them somewhere. So how are they going to do that?
Hey, here's the other negative thing about the AST thing, though. There's been a couple people I've talked to that did transfer to AST, which I have not done yet myself because I've been on the fence. And if I did, I sure as hell wouldn't transfer them all, that's for sure. But it's just my opinion, you know. But a few people that I've heard that did transfer to AST, there's been a few of them that wanted to transfer back, and they were denied. So everyone thinks, well, if there's, they'll make time and we can transfer back. But I already know 2 or 3 people that told me they can't transfer back. The brokerages won't let them, or the AST won't let them. But either way, they've been denied the option of transferring back. And this is really early in the game. So if there are already people being denied the option of transferring back, I don't think anyone should think to themselves that...
Don't let a temporary situation induce you into making a permanent decision.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I want to say this. I already see it. Tomorrow, this one, that one, and the other one are all going to say, oh, he's rocking the boat. He's doing this. He's doing that. That's why I recorded this space. That's the precise reason why I recorded the space. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. All I'm telling you to do is think from all angles what this all could mean. And let's not make any snap judgments or rush to a decision. We don't have to. That is all I'm saying. And that is why I recorded the space, because I know it's coming. I know it's coming because of exactly what John just said. Because for some reason, I'm the only guy that comes forward with this angle of thought. And I don't know why that is. Maybe you should chalk that up to inexperience of other people who are talking when they shouldn't be. Sorry, that's life.
Well, I did mention in my video today that the fact that the date hasn't been set yet, so no decisions have to be made right now.
Yeah.
And,
I'm not talking about you, John.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general, I'm saying that I think a lot of people are getting confused and feeling like they have to rush over to AST. And even though I think that might be an option at some point, it's nothing we need to rush and do right now.
Yeah. I think it's, and again, like I haven't spoken to anyone about this. This is my opinion. And my opinion is this is a power move. You better fix this before this thing becomes effective, because this is what's going to come. And if this comes, this is going to cause chaos.
Right.
So they're giving them the opportunity to fix it. That's what I don't know. That's how I
believe that what NextBridge is trying to do is, if they get a certain amount of shares pushed over into AST to the point where the bus is full, I think that would help the cause.
It's win-win though. Like, so it's win-win, because it's either it's going to be viewed as, okay, we better resolve this before this takes place, or they fill the boat enough people do transfer, fill the boat, and they have to resolve the overage anyway. So it is win-win for NextBridge to put out this kind of a statement, to put out this kind of an S1. It is win-win. And I want to emphasize one thing. I've never had a conversation with Greg McCabe in my life. Never once. Never. But I will say this. For that guy to put up 10%...
That is shocking, yeah.
and not have to do it, and literally just give it to the shareholders to create more shareholder value. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes about the intention, about the intent behind McCabe, and about the and what we read today on these letters from NextBridge to FINRA. That speaks volumes about the intent of NextBridge as it relates to looking out for their shareholders.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to hear anybody. I don't want to hear it anymore. Oh, this is a problem that NextBridge and Metamaterials should have been all over. I don't want to hear it anymore because they have been all over it. They have been trying to fix this.
Yeah, they're doing it with their hands tied behind their back, though. They have a lot of rules they got to follow. I don't think people understand. You know, the thing. This definitely is a catalyst.
I want to emphasize the posts that Rosa made that are in the nest. And I want you to beware because she's warning you with those posts. She's warning you. She is. I'm not. She is warning you with those posts that are in the nest.
I haven't caught the post. Give me a little...
and I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to everyone.
Right.
Look at Rosa's posts and understand this is a warning to you to beware of opportunists. We didn't seek... Rosa didn't seek us out. True. We sought Rosa out after she filed. Rosa didn't find us. So, and read what Rosa says and understand what that means and beware. That's all. We're going to keep going, John.
Absolutely.
All
right, so that was the end of that. That's a 4-hour space call. It is on my Twitter where I retweeted it. I'd recommend, especially at the beginning, that first half hour of that space call. There's a lot of good information in that. My arm's killing me. As you notice, it was shaking all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and just post that other video, which is a video I made, like an 8 to 10 minute video after this space call. I'm going to go ahead and I'll post that either later on tonight or tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, please hit like, spread the word, keep yourself informed, and don't panic. Don't do anything while you're panicking. Think things out. We got plenty of time, guys. Love you, MetaFam. Bye.